Hey, are you tired of hearing advice on how to become more toxic or angry disguised as alpha male or sigma male? Or you don't feel comfortable taking advice from self-proclaimed red-pilled pickup artists? Then welcome to this channel. I'm going to be sharing my thoughts and insights on how to become a better man in a healthy way. When I was younger, I gravitated towards bodybuilding because I was insecure about the way that I looked and the way that I felt about myself. And I was teased a lot because I was really skinny. And this insecurity led to me becoming obsessed with the idea of trying to become an alpha male in lieu of a beta male, because I felt as if I was being teased because I was a beta male. So at the time, I thought a good man was one who had a muscular body that other people envied and was an alpha in all regards of his life. I was very misguided, very immature, because that thought process can lead to a dangerous path of self-destruction, but also hurting other people along the way. I think in today's day and age, Sigma male is the new fad. I see it all over my social media. It's what everyone wants to be. Essentially, a Sigma male is an introverted alpha male.
They're alpha males.
Who does not need the support of a pack. Quote unquote, a lone wolf. Sigma males like to think of themselves as good looking, dominant, and influential. Is pursuing the lifestyle and mindset of a Sigma what makes a man good? Maybe it's someone who gets a lot of girls, or has a massive dong, or is the life of the party, or has a ton of followers. Is that what makes a man good? And that got me thinking, right? With this new generation, how do we define what a good man is? I honestly think that it depends on the context, whether it's in the workplace, or in a relationship, or in a father figure role, and whatnot. But here's the list of what I think makes a good man in today's modern society. So grab a pen and paper, some popcorn, and that bottle of lotion. Because you have ashy elbows, my man. You don't want to be walking around with your dry skin just flaking everywhere. All right, so number one on the list, a good man is honest, genuinely truthful to himself and to others. And when you're honest with yourself, you understand that you have flaws. Nobody is perfect. Only narcissists and these quote-unquote pickup artists and alpha males, they like to think that they're God's gift to people. But I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but every single one of us is a work in progress with flaws that a good man recognizes and is constantly working on improving them. And along the same note, an honest man is willing to admit when they are wrong or they don't know something. He does not regard his ego in this type of decision making. He doesn't care if he comes off as a fool or dumb. He does the right thing by being honest. If he doesn't know, he will admit it right up front, or if he makes a mistake. And number two, this is really freaking important, because I don't want you to think that a good man is someone who is closed off and does not share love for others. Because a good man shows an abundance of love and care to those that are around him. To me, a man shouldn't be aloof to his emotions or only be a disciplinarian. A man leads by example, shares his love with others, and cares about his community enough to do something to make a positive impact. A good man is not just focused on himself. His thought process and actions are rooted in love and genuine concern. A perfect example of a good man who portrays this characteristic trait of love is Mr. Rogers. Moving on to number three. A good man does not have a self-serving legacy. We look back into history, some of the most disastrous, horrific events happened when egos got inflated and they wanted to leave a lasting impression onto mankind, but for the wrong reasons, and a lot of people were hurt, or rather than trying to leave a selfish legacy, A good man asks himself these questions. What can I do to have made myself better, but along with that, to have made those around me better as well? And how did I make the world a little better because of my existence? I contributed to the goodness rather than the darkness in this world or community. A good man understands that he exists to lift up, encourage, to help, to support his fellow man, human. To elaborate on this, a good man chooses and pushes himself to be better because he fears the idea of hurting others if he doesn't. Because if I choose to become complacent and lazy, I will also make those same type of decisions when it comes to my relationships and in my interactions with those that I love. I push myself and strive to be better so that I can give my full endeavor in all efforts, including career, relationships, community work. Choosing to be better and do better is infectious. That energy just manifests itself in all areas of your life. But the moment that you decide that you're perfect the way you are and that you're God's gift to people and you're this mighty alpha male that people should bow down on their knees in your presence, is the moment that you start inheriting and exhibiting toxic traits to other people, when you start becoming complacent and lazy and you stop giving effort and showing compassion to those in need or to show your partner the love they deserve, and eventually where you also lose self-respect for yourself. So this idea of being lazy and complacent should scare a good man. Instead, they should aspire to become a better man in order to give that better love onto everybody, but also including to themselves. Because how can you love yourself properly when you are living in a world of laziness and narcissism, hatred and anger, resentment and bitterness? You can't. You cannot become a better man if you hold a jaded view of the world. If you think that all women are cheaters, if you think that everybody in this world is evil, you think everyone is out to get you, this type of thinking and toxic mentality is going to ruin your outlook in life, and it's just not healthy. All right, I think everybody gets that point now. I think I elaborated on it to the point where it's like, you know, if you ever had a plant before or a garden and you just keep watering it and you're overwatering and there's water everywhere, I think we get it. So moving on to point number 4. A good man encourages others around him to be better. It's not enough to just be working on yourself. Rather, it's living out the idea of iron sharpening iron, where human helps another human. So rather than turning a blind eye or enabling bad behaviors from those that you love, like, oh, I know that he's doing this and he's ruining his life, but I don't want to get into it, it's not my problem. A good man should be able to talk to and offer support for that individual to be better in their endeavor. This is one of the ways where you can leave a good contribution to the world because of your existence. A good man's presence will be felt. That's why sometimes world-class athletes who grew up in a rough neighborhood will usually go back and help out the community, the kids, and try to be a role model so that they know that there's other options in life rather than resorting to drugs, violence, and gangs. And to be a light in this world and to help other people. That's what makes a man good. Because even if they have everything or nothing at all, they don't hesitate to help other people. I definitely went up to the bus driver, tapped them on the shoulder, took over the wheel, and I just took a crazy detour. But to end on that point right there, a good man is always trying to help and encourage those around him to be better as well, and is not afraid to offer support. All right, so moving on to the next point. I believe this is number 5. A good man has integrity. And how I would define integrity is this. You are the exact same person of character behind closed doors, when no one can see what you're doing to compliment you or to say, oh wow, or to praise you. What I'm trying to say is that a good man does not have a completely different moral compass in public. Essentially, a good man is not a hypocrite. He lives his life with the same principles in private that he does out in the open. A good man practices what he preaches. And for the longest time, I felt like a fraud because back in the day, I used to tell people all the time, smiling is contagious and to spread kindness, right? But behind closed doors, and especially to myself, I was absolutely evil with the choice of words that I spoke to myself and to others. In this new chapter of my life, I'm trying to be the same person behind closed doors, behind this camera, as I am on the other side. And something that has been helping me to live this out is to practice mindfulness and to be constantly reminding myself of my goals and to be journaling my progress and to make actionable effort. I just realized just how long this video is. Welcome to my TED Talk. Thank you for attending. But anyways, the last point is this. A good man is humble. A good man has the humility to admit shortcomings, is not afraid to show people his flaws, and humility also means that they do not brag about their accomplishments. I think that college phrase, it depends, is applicable here because it depends on the context. If you are up for a promotion or you're revising your resume for an interview, of course you want to show your accomplishments in your current or past roles. Don't get me wrong. And even outside of that context, it's okay to tell people stories of your most cherished memories. It's okay. Like if you enlisted into the Marine Corps and that's the most proudest thing you've ever done in your life, it's absolutely okay to share stories about your time with others. But the key here is that a good man is humble and will not put other people down. Have you seen that before? Have you been part of a group conversation or an interaction where someone will share an intimate or a personal detail about themselves and someone will just one-up them or just flat out put them down? Like, what's the point of that? Like, what is the point of putting someone else down besides you're just being a dick? I mean a dildo. So that's my work in progress list of what makes a man good. What do you think I missed? I want to hear from you because that was my personal opinion. I know I'm missing something. What else makes a man good? And my call to action right here is this. If you feel inspired or deficient in any one of these categories or points, now, this year is the perfect opportunity for you to work at it, or even beyond. Moving on to the rest of your life, maybe you can work at it. For my millennials and Gen Z that are watching this, please note that not once did I mention that a good man is someone that pulls a lot of girls. And that's because a good man is one of principle, love in their heart, and genuine concern for others. That's what a good man is.